So what an absolutely wild 24 hours. We had the super dovish Fed come out last night. Everyone was euphoric. Markets were pumping. Everything's ripping. And then there's like the greatest hack in crypto history, apparently, according to RUNE. He thinks this is way more serious than we thought it was. The market just flushed everyone out there. They cancelled all the longs from yesterday on BTC. They wiped out so many alts and it bounced straight back. And yeah, it looks like business as usual now, but we're going to talk about this hack and we're going to look at some of these tokens and see where we can get some possible entries here if things are still going to be bullish. I do have a lot of stuff for you today. I've got Injective, I've got WLD, I'm talking Kuji, I'm talking Render, I'm talking Bonk, I'm talking my oil long. There's a lot going on here, guys. So let's get right into it. And obviously, I want all of your tokens. We're going to scalp these things and we're going to find you some badass entries. So let's get going. So, I mean, first things first, I mean, this was beautiful news last night. It turned everything bullish. The S&P just looking so hot. And it was all systems go. Gold was pumping, oil was pumping, US markets pumping, crypto pumping. It was epic. And, you know, we were firing up longs all day long. Things were ripping, looking good. And then this happened. So, I mean, classic crypto, isn't it? I mean, what is crypto without a hack or some FUD when things are green and everyone's cooking? So let me know in the chats here, who got stopped out on a couple of positions. I got stopped out on an algo position I was in, but some of my better entry trades did survive. So we are back to business and cooking again. Let me see here who's in the chats here. Rudy's here, 𝗘𝗔𝗦𝗬, he says, what's happening, Rudy? I did see some of the guys in Sniper Club. They got it's almost like they came just for their stops and took some of their stops out. Let me know if that's happened to you. My only casualty really was this algo situation. DJN Viking says he got hammered in Grok. What else is happening, guys? Keep it coming through here. Okay, let's look at first things first. BTC. You're not going to believe this stuff, guys. The science is at play once again. So the news came out, it started dripping out, and at some point these guys decided, okay, dump it. I don't know if they have a switch or whatever they do, but obviously someone pushes some universal button and the entire crypto market dumps. But these guys are like, I don't know, they're not very smart because they dump it exactly on a 786 and a trend retest. I mean, look at this stuff. You can't make this shit up. So here we are, dumped down straight into 41,200, 786, trend retest, bounce. And massive move back up, okay, as if nothing happened, flushed everyone out. And now we got to look at these markers and we got to decide now, are we still bullish on the current BTC situation, or has things changed now? Do we have to be a little bit more cautious now based on what's happened in the last hour and a half? So what I can do for you guys is give you some areas of interest that we need to keep our eyes on for the rest of the day, and this should guide us as to if things are going to be bullish or not. So right now, the first thing we're going to do is watch this 382 and horizontal right here, 42,400. This is our first key area now. We've had this wick down, and now we want to see if they're going to hold this, because we know quite often if they do a wick down, they like to come and retest this wick. Sometimes they come halfway down. Sometimes they'll come back even to that 618 level. So let's keep our eyes on 42,400. Let's keep our eyes on 41,700. And the double bottom, which is going to hurt. It's really going to hurt because then these alts are going to get time to start bleeding out. 41,240. So let's see how this plays out for now. And as you can see, we do have a downtrend that we need to deal with. Okay, so at some point, this is our new bear line, basically. So if we start cooking off from here, we should be great. Those alts will start cooking. But if we start dipping lower, then we're going to feel a little bit of pressure on some of our altcoin trades. So let's see how we go. Let's look at the altcoin season indicator. Well, this thing hasn't changed yet. This is still sitting at 53, or now it's gone down to 51 after that. So maybe there was a little bit of a reversal here in dominance. Let's take a look. This is dominance on the weekly. And again, not much change considering how much these altcoins have actually been pumping. We are still just cruising here. A little bit of a move here on dominance. But the real move for us is when we lose this trend. We want to lose this trend. And that's really going to unleash these alts, as if they're not getting unleashed already. I mean, some of these alts on banter bubbles are just absolutely ridiculous. I mean, look at the size of these moves. I see Ratus is here from Malta. Dynaway's in here. He's always here in the chats. What's happening? Blake says rec time. Obviously, that must be that wrecked meme coin. Okay, guys, let's move on to US oil, which you guys know about. This was a long, all day long. I only got my one entry, and you can see I'm playing this on Prime XBT. The other ones were my previous entries. So guys, Prime XBT, I trade oil and gold and all these things on Prime XBT. Right now, I only have a few oil longs here in play, and we are moving into our resistance area on this oil thing. So guys, if you want to trade Prime XBT, you can send crypto to it. There is a link in the description with various sign-up bonuses and things that you can get stuck in on. Okay, first things first, when BTC pumps like it did yesterday, what happens? Ordinals, ORDIs pumps, BRC20 tokens pump, these type of things, even stacks, those type of things. You need to look for these. So the first thing I dived into was this ORDI situation. I want to try and find you guys an entry here. So this ORDI's on the 4 hours been looking pretty decent, and classic move. Look at this flush. When they came down for us, they came here and they whacked the 618 here with a nice little trend bounce. So if you guys are interested in an ORDI's play, we can see, well, we might have, well, we are in price discovery here. So potential higher than all-time highs on its way. So all-time high is currently 69.7, and we might be in price discovery pretty soon. So what you're going to do here is just watch this horizontal region. Look for a reaction up there if we start hitting that zone. But once we break through that area, it's going to be quite a simple play. You just want to make sure that once we break through, they come back and we confirm some kind of support here in the 66 to 67 region if we do break ahead. And then lower down, what do we want to do? We want to make sure the 618 is going to hold. So 52.5 is our lower support band for the double bottom. And then we do have some horizontal action up here. So your next level is 57.5. So these are your two potential trade entry areas. If you like the ORDI's vibe here, that's what you're looking at here, 57.5 and 52.8. There's another BRC20 token, MUBI. I don't know much about it. It's you can get this one on MEXC. Apparently, it's you can actually trade futures on this one too. Also, looking at big things here, and we have just broken through all-time highs now in the last while. I was prepping this one for you guys earlier, so we've just cracked this horizontal here. So 0.16 is now a support area we want to see hold, and potentially now we're going to get this this next move up on MUBI. So let's see, 0.155. You don't want to dip much deeper than that. Let's pull some Fibonacci here and just confirm here. Yes, okay, that's 618, 0.155. You don't want to dip much lower than that. But nice move here. We've broken all-time highs, looking for some support now, and then the price discovery stuff, and things can get pretty wild. You guys have seen what's happened with some of these other meme coins and things once they are in price discovery. Okay, let's move on to the meme coin, Bonk. Topical, we were talking about it yesterday. 𝗘𝗏 was on my show yesterday. He was longing Bonk, and we gave you guys some stop areas and things like that. And it was based on this news, this Coinbase listing. So things are very interesting here on Bonk. And these were our stop areas we gave yesterday, the 0982, and obviously it didn't come back. This thing just absolutely ripped. So what I'm going to suggest now for Bonk is all-time highs. You want to just make sure you have solid support areas in place. If you are playing the Bonk game and you believe this thing is going to go basically moon time, you need to make sure your supports are all in order. So your first area here, you can see we've had a trend break. Now we're just looking for this retest to hold. So anything down to 1,333 down to 1,3. So it's multiple zeros before that, 1,333 down to about 1,3 is quite acceptable support to hold for Bonk for the next move higher. So if you were late to the party, well, firstly, if you are in the Bonk trade, no reason to exit yet. I would exit if you lose and the candle closes under this 382 fib. So if the candle closes under this 00013 region, then I would say maybe look to start cutting that Bonk position, but no reason to exit until we start losing big levels like that. So I would say all systems go for Bonk. And then new traders, you want to try and grab a tight entry here, tight as possible, obviously. And the best you can do right now, based on what I'm looking at here, is probably going to be around 0.1333. That's probably your safest bet to get your tightest little entry there. Okay, let's see. Lots of requests here. Peppy Skywalker says he got rinsed big time. Guys, you know, it's the massive leverage where you're firing up the trades late and they come and they flush you. This is where you get you get it handed to you. This is what they do. It's bull market vibes. You just need to understand that you can lose money in a bull market if you're not careful, if you get too aggressive. It is part of the process. And again, I'm reminding you guys, we're still so early. The full retail hasn't even come in yet, so you are going through a learning curve now. Let's do it together. Let's bang our heads here. Let's get wrecked like this together, so you guys know what is going on here. If you're using too high leverage, you're going to get smashed. You've got to play this safe, and remember, the best entries are the ones that are going to survive. If you're too aggressive, it's just tickets when they come and flush you out. I'm seeing so many comments here and stories about people losing all of their profits on that little flush out after trading it so well and grabbing great entries yesterday and then getting too aggressive. So really, guys, we just need to tone down that aggressive leverage in the beginning. And it's easy once you get euphoric. Obviously, it's easy to like get too excited and start pumping things up. But remember, always just play it safe, because these tokens always consolidate. At some point, they slow down and they give you new entries. So just remember, there's no urgency. If you miss a move, let it consolidate. We get the next one, and we can always set up these levels like this. All these tokens, we can prepare levels like this for you, and play it slow. Right, next one, ADA. I actually never thought I'd ever talk about ADA again. I thought it was the biggest, like, absolute shitcoin in history. And here it is, outperforming so many things right now. And look at this. The total value of Cardano DeFi ecosystem nears $450 million. Okay. And ADA is absolutely pumping again. So, yeah, I mean, it's amazing. When it was down here, I thought, well, that was the end of ADA. It's never coming back. Absolute shitcoin. And here we are. So ADA Army and ADA fans, I mean, this is your moment. This is your time to shine, because here we are. ADA has broken the 58 cents level for support. I mean, this is unreal for me. And the 200-week MA is now your rejection or your resistance area. That is 0.66. So understand that. But for me, the target for ADA, okay, provided this hack doesn't ruin everything for everyone else now, the target for me here, ADA, 74 cents, believe it or not. And it's on the table. So let's see how this hack news plays out. But those of you sitting on ADA, I think you guys are going to be cooking here. 74 is the next play. And scalpers, yeah, I've got some levels for you. So let's see how we can play this. If you didn't get your ADA entry, this is what we can start looking at. So here's our 200-week MA. You can see a nice little rejection. So get that on your charts. You'll see a lot of these altcoins, when they hit that 200-week MA, they have a reaction. So make sure that 200-week MA is sitting on your charts. There's our little rejection. Okay, and now first test here for ADA is the 382 and horizontal. You can see it's dancing around a little bit, maybe going to pull back here. But I'm saying let's call it 0.63. Okay, this is our first area, and you can see what's going on now. We do have a little downtrend in place. Okay, so very simple play here. What are our options? A little aggressive buys on solid support areas. So if you're trying to build a position, you're looking for buys on solid areas, and what tends to happen is if we get a bounce of the solid area and it rejects, they send us lower again. Then we can get our next bounce with the solid area and they send us higher, and inevitably it breaks trend at some point, it rejects, gets support, and then they send it again. So if ADA is going to remain bullish, I'm going to suggest that it's going to hold this uptrend here in the next, say, 24 hours. It should hold this uptrend, okay, if we're going to stay bullish. The ideal situation for me is a drop into the 618 area. So that is 0.597. If we get a move into this 618 region, then for me it's a long on ADA, and then the target is going to be that 74 region that I showed you guys earlier. So that is about up there, and it's about another 23% move on the table for ADA. And remember, if we don't get our solid buy at the 618, we can always just tackle the break of trend and that retest, and then climb on board there. So there is a simple recipe for both of them. So always buy solid support areas. These are your aggressive buys. So you can start building entries, solid support areas. So here, 0.63, and down here, 0.598, give or take. That should give you a nice bullish move if it holds this trend, and very easy to exit. So it's invalidated. If we lose this trend, candle closes below this trend, very easy to invalidate. You jump out and you wait for your next entry. So yeah, good luck with that. I think ADA is a mover to that 74. So another 20% coming. Now some more news. WLD, World Coin, which we actually call wild in this house, but WLD, here it is. Some more news on it and things like that. Integrations. So definitely topical, definitely in the news. I gave this trade yesterday. For those of you that took it, we were parked right down here yesterday. It made sense to me. There was a nice level here, lots of horizontal support. I think we had fib action here as well. So it was pretty obvious, a little setup there. And now it's cooking. So we've hit our resistance area, which is TP. Okay, this was our first sort of TP zone. But now what are we looking for? We're looking for support here at this level here. 2.5. So this is our first support region. Our next support region, 2.43. Okay, so these are potential pullback options if we get it. Okay, so 2.5 and 2.43. Okay, so these are the two potential pullback options that I'm looking at for WLD. If it's going to stay bullish, I'm looking for something along these lines. And then again, once we get that trend break, hopefully we'll get a nice support retest. So if we do break the trend from this move, for example, we got a nice little horizontal retest for us as well, just to confirm that everything is good. And then it's there's some big zones ahead here for WLD. And I mean, look, we'll probably try and chase this 5.2 region if this market really turns bullish. But for now, let's just break that trend. Let's just get a trade moving and see how we go from there. Yeah, I see some guys buying spot bonk. Benny's asking about Rose. Yeah, Rose is a good one. Rose is a very good one, guys. I like this Rose. YouTube user says, ORDI is killing me both sides. How's it killing you both sides? Are you long and short? And what are you doing there? Core wants an update on AVAX. I do have an AVAX. I did have an AVAX. Yes, I do have an AVAX degen set up for you. I've got an hour set up for you guys, potentially brewing on AVAX. Cunning George says Abel is pumping. Yes, of course Abel is pumping. It was a micro cap, wasn't it? Let's see what else we got here. Lots of questions for Abel. Lots of questions for Woo. Okay, let's move on to my next one. Mark is still the trading beast. What a legend, eh, Mark? Let's give Mark the bull. Hold on. There's our bull for Mark. Okay, let's go. DinoWay wants an update on FTM as well. Okay, well, we do FTM. That trade is cooking. Okay, here's an interesting one. Okay, so Injective has been ripping. We know all about this. But now people are starting to say, okay, hang on. Maybe there's something else here. Maybe it's time to move away from Injective. Maybe we need to start looking at things like 𝗘𝗔𝗦. So people are making cases for a potential move to 𝗘𝗔𝗦. Then we've got this news, obviously, that what we can see is things are obviously happening with 𝗘𝗔𝗦. And I've got you a 4-hour setup here that we can potentially play with. And remember, I mean, 𝗘𝗔𝗦 is chasing some big things here. It's price discovery time for 𝗘𝗔𝗦. As you can see, this is the weekly. And the sky's the limit here with what can actually happen. So once market sentiment gets hold of this thing, it can do exactly what Injective's been doing. It can do what Arenda did in the past, all these things. So what I'm going to suggest here, 𝗘𝗔𝗦, if you don't have a position in 𝗘𝗔𝗦, you want to look for support, good horizontal support areas where you want to try and catch a buy here. This is the first region, is 5. Okay, so if you can grab 𝗘𝗔𝗦 at 5, that's a potential zone for you. And you can see why this makes sense. Horizontal support. Let's see if we've got some Fibonacci here. Okay, so we've got two nice little areas here, 5.06 and 4.78. Not the best, but I like this horizontal. So call it 5 for me for 𝗘𝗔𝗦. And then lower down, I quite like this region. I quite like this 4.4 region for 𝗘𝗔𝗦. Okay, so what I'm going to suggest here, perfect will, it pulls back. Okay, we hit our horizontal and trend. That's our dream sort of setup here for 𝗘𝗔𝗦, really, to send it higher. So let's watch this candle. If this candle starts running away from us, this is the 4 hours. So if this candle starts running away from us, we're gonna have to do things a little bit differently. We're gonna have to start looking at 15 minutes and things like that to try and snipe an entry. But yeah, dream position for me, 𝗘𝗔𝗦, is a pullback to this 5 region. Okay, press for render as well. Okay, so let's do Injective. Okay, now this is the question, guys. We know Injective's at price discovery. It's been absolutely ripping. It's all about the airdrops and everything. And at some point, the party's going to die on Injective. So the best thing you can do, if you are long Injective, or you're still trading Injective, same story as before, track these trends. Okay, when we start losing these rising trends, we know the party is over. Okay, so let's just ride Injective. We carry on, we ride this trend until this trend breaks. Okay, so right now You can see this little pullback. What did they give us there? They gave us a dip into the 382. So support right now for Injective, 29.4. Okay, that is my preferred support. Let's see if it's let's see what it's sitting on right now. Let's see if they're giving us a 236. Okay, they're giving us a 236. So the 236 fib is like the super bullish fib, and you use that in emergencies when things are really ripping. So just be careful with the 236 as support, but you can see what's going on here. They are holding it for now on the 1 hour. If you had to ask me for an entry on Injective, and yeah, I would say I'd prefer to wait for a little move lower. That is the safer play. That's a 382 move. That is also some horizontals down here as well. So for me, the best entry for me, 29.3, but we do have support 30.5 right now at Injective for a potential move higher from there. So a revisit to this wick though could make sense. So your options here, 30.6, 29.4. Those are your options on Injective. Update on 𝗬𝗏. Okay, that's a good one. That's a good one. Okay, let's see, guys. Let's see what we have next. Okay, render. First things first, render. Okay, so the risk reward on render right now is potentially slowing down because render is pushing into the 618. It's been an absolute ripper today. Things have been cooking, but bigger picture, we do have a rejection area coming for render. Not saying it's not going to blow through it, but we are now pushing our first target here at render. This was 5. So we fought this 4 region and we were waiting for this break. We finally got the break, and our target now for render is 5. So risk reward is starting to get a little bit tighter here, especially if we are going to reject. So there's about 6% left in render. So if you guys are long from lower down, you definitely want to start looking at a TP area because we might get a rejection in the zone. And then here we are. So DGen vibes for you guys. This is the 1 hour, same play. So you've seen it on Injective as well for you. I've built this for you guys, and you can play these trends until they break. So here we are again, renders coming back down. Your first area that you want to look at for a potential bounce, 4.5. So we're looking for something along these lines. And if we get a fast move down, you're looking at 4.25. So that's your next potential area. So let's see what type of bounce we get, because that's going to establish a potential trend for us, and then we can play that. But most importantly, we don't want to lose this nice round rising trend. And also, just quite notable, render recovered very quickly after that BTC dump earlier today. Look at this candle. They just bought it up very quickly. So let's see if it comes with a little retest here, double bottom perhaps on that move, and we'll see how we go. But render bulls 4.5, that's a key level for you now. That's what you need to watch for our upside target of 5. BNB looking good. Guys, do we still trade BNB? I sometimes forget about that. Farah is looking for some super. Let's see what else you guys got in the chats here. It's PYTH. Okay, there's lots of requests for AVAX. Guys, I've got an AVAX for you, and then I want to talk to you about the easy indicator that we've got to set up for. Okay, so here is AVAX. Flush out, what did they give us? They gave us a 618. Okay, so you saw a lot of these altcoins. If you go look at your charts and your alts that you're trading, we had the 618 pullback on that flush. It was almost perfection. And we were waiting for this one. I dropped this chart in Sniper Club earlier today. I dropped these levels here. We were looking for 618 trend, and they came. They flushed us into that, and we had a strong bounce. But you can see now a lot of these alts look like they want to come back and just test these wicks again. So let's see how we go. Our first line of support here for AVAX, 37.8. Okay, so that is an area you need to watch. And then our next level, 36.8. Okay, if we start losing and closing below 36.8, we can see what's going to happen here. Okay, we've got our next level lower down at 34 on the button there. Okay, so we lose that 618 and trend at 36.8. Okay, call it 37. We lose that level there. We're looking down. We're looking dark. We're looking at 34. That trend's going to get lost, and we're going to start melting lower. And then we're going to be playing bounces, and we're going to be looking for things like this. And I'm going to be telling you guys things are looking bearish until we break that trend. You've seen the story before. Okay, so let's hope AVAX holds this trend, and then we are good to go. Okay, the whole chat is apparently saying super. Guys, okay. I'm going to show you super, and then I'm going to show you a trade that I've taken. Let's go. Super. I remember how it works in crypto. They hype it, there's a narrative, things pump, things dump, eventually the attention fades, they move elsewhere, and they don't start giving you the returns that they were giving you, you know, a couple of weeks prior. It slows down. You saw it with Injective. Injective slowed down for 2 months. We nearly forgot about it, and out of nowhere it came alive again. So remember, it has these periods of consolidation, but this looks decent right now. Actually, I quite like this. Wow. Okay. Who called super here in the chats? Which one of you 15 people shouting super should we thank for showing us this one? Okay, let's look here. We do have a little setup. Okay, we didn't get perfect Fibonacci here, but it is something we can work with. I would say there's an entry here. These are your stop options. Okay, so if you want to be long super, I've highlighted an area at the top there previously. Okay, so we can see that zone. That's another 50% move potentially. How do you go about this? What do you do? Well, this is a typical trend break and retest. Okay, so trend break, retest with a little flush. And we want to look for now, how do we exit this thing if we're wrong? So if the market reverses on us, what do we do? Like, how do I get out of this trade? So you start looking for areas where if the candle closes below certain areas, then you potentially want to exit. So your first most obvious one is 0.574. That's your first sort of stop area where you'd want to bail on super. Okay, so a lot of the times they get a flush. So as you can see, like all these candles, they flush you out. So that's why I always try and say, wait for the candle to close, because otherwise it might just be a fake out to the downside. So try and get that candle closed before you cut. Obviously, it's difficult if you're sleeping and you've set a stop loss. That's a different story. But if you are able to watch your scalper trades live, try and wait for it to close, because often it's just a fake out. They grab your stops and they disappear again. I mean, how many of you in the chats, let me know here, actually got stopped out today and then it ran away with your trades? Flushed everyone out there. They can't. I'm just looking at the poll here that I put there, guys, in the chats. Let me know your thoughts on this poll. I've dropped a poll earlier. It says this is the biggest hack in crypto history, apparently. And 70% of you aren't really phased about it. You're just saying LFG, right? Let's just carry on. Okay, well, the charts will tell us the story anyway at the end. The charts will always win. Okay, so just to finish this the super setup. First exit point, 0.574 and lower, and then we do have the 618 region. Now remember, if they come and ping a 618, sometimes they just flush it a little bit through. So you want to just make sure you're in that little sniper zone, which is a little region just below the 618. So always just cater for a little bit of extra on that 618 if you are using that as an area. So exit options for super, 0.574 and lower, and 0.544 and lower. So if you're wrong, you take your medicine and you move on. But risk reward and upside based on what I'm looking at here with this potential channel, you're looking at about a 9-to-1. So it looks like a decent play here. Okay, let's see who else is in the chats here. What's going on? 2G turning down to 5 according to Brandon. Yeah, guys. So remember, just plot your levels, look at your levels, and these things play out. Just check out the 1 hours, check out the 4 hours, be patient, wait for it. There is a question from Sasha about Curve, and I've actually got a story for you about Curve because I'm still sitting in my 2-bit trades on Curve. So if you guys were watching a couple of weeks ago, I put $1,000 into 2-bit, which is a new exchange, guys. So there is a link in the description. If you sign up to 2-bit, you get a $35 bonus for depositing $100. Okay, so sign up to 2-bit. They are very KYC friendly as well. For the ultra degens out there, there is a link in the description. So there is a $35 bonus for signing up. Do the things they want, and there's more bonuses in there. Yeah, so these trades, I was tap dancing like mad. This account was about 2.5x from when I opened it. It was absolutely ripping. And they came and flushed us the other day, hit stops, all sorts of things. But we are just hanging on currently. And this was my DeFi play. So this DeFi play in 2-bit is still alive. But yeah, it's not looking very good at the moment. But the intention here is to build these positions to try and grow them. And I wanted to try and 20x this account for you. But the market obviously needs to play ball with us. So what I'm going to do is, provided these things keep moving up, I'm going to start building these positions. I'm going to show you how I do it. And we're going to start ramping up the leverage. I'm going to start adding to these positions. And if things go in our favor, we're going to 20 or 30x this account. So again, I just want to show you guys, you don't need to start big to end big. You can start really small and really grow these accounts. So this is what I want to try and show you guys on Qubit, and I thought it would be fun if I ran it on DeFi, because at some point these DeFi things are going to start moving. Now, obviously with this news today, they would have been sweating a little bit as well. But you can see what I've got left here: 1 inch, compound, curve, and sushi. And you can see they give you a nice little chart here on Qubit. So you can see what's going on. It's like a typical exchange. It trades a lot like MEXC. And we can see quite clear exit points now. So 46.98 is the low. So if we start losing 46.98 on this comp, for example, I'm going to start closing that position and we'll reassess. We'll look for new levels. But yeah, I'm going to keep this account going as long as they can, and we're going to try and 20 or 30x this thing for you guys, provided things start moving in our favor. I see 𝗘𝗔𝗦𝗬 Yogi says he's coming to Cape Town. Bro, well, come visit. You know, we're in Cape Town. We're just chilling here. Good time of the year to come visit. Okay, next thing I wanted to show you guys is the token that I'm actually married to. Basically, it's yeah, you can't get any worse than this. I feel like I'm obsessed with DYDX, and not really the healthiest thing to do, but the chart just looks so good. And there's people talking about it on Twitter again. There's action coming back for DYDX, and so here we are. And today I was playing around with 𝗖𝗔𝗍𝗪, which is our new in-house indicator, and it actually gave me a setup on DYDX. And then I thought, well, fuck, you know, it's got to be now. It has to be now. We've got Easy Indicator telling me, and I've got my own TA telling me that DYDX is a potential play. So here's the DYDX sitting. I have adjusted it slightly. I did drop one earlier in Sniper Club, but basically the way 𝗖𝗔𝗍𝗪 works is they work on weekly pivots, they work on monthly pivots and things like that. And when candles close above certain areas, they will kind of give you an indication that, okay, this is now probably a good area to be long or to be short. And then they sort of advise that you put your stops under these pivot areas. So here's a typical setup again on DYDX. This is from 𝗖𝗔𝗍𝗪 indicator. And we did drop the signal in Sniper Club today. So we're going to be dropping indicator signals in Sniper Club. You'll probably get maybe three or four a week if the market allows us. And we are dropping 𝗏𝗏 setups. Also a link in the description for 𝗏𝗏, and we are dropping 𝗖𝗔𝗍𝗪 setups in the Sniper Club. So we're going to keep dropping these guys, and nice little trade setups. We have had pretty decent success. That ARB trade we gave the other day actually came and wicked me out, and then they sent it up. But you know, the indicator does work, and it does hit the areas that we like. So we are enjoying it at the moment. So this setup right now, DYDX, you're looking at an entry in this box, 2.93 down to about 2.8. That looks like a pretty decent one. And then areas where you could look to start cutting, it's under this candle low, which is 2.74. So if you lose that candle low for today, that's probably an area of interest where you want to start cutting. And then we do have higher levels. You can if you want to lower your risk, but you know, then your risk is that you get stopped and they send it higher. You can start looking at cutting under any of these pivot points down here. So 2788 up to about 2.82. But for me, my stop is under this 2.7 region here. So I'm holding mine. I'm leaving it for now. And then upside targets for DYDX, 32% is the high. That's given to us by the 𝗖𝗔𝗍𝗪 indicator. So that is this region up here. So call it 3.8. And if we look at my chart, what do I have? My chart target is 4.3. So I'm looking for a little bit higher than 𝗖𝗔𝗍𝗪, but yeah, definitely a safe play there. And then a nice clean little exit if you are wrong. Okay, let's see what else we got here. Track. Yeah, Track is one of the BRC20 tokens. 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 got DYDX. Yeah, guys, you know, eventually they will give us DYDX. I see Michelle's in DYDX. Yeah, exactly. They're saying we got to tell DYDX to move. Look, I have seen there is interest picking up, and it is a DEX. And when the trading starts picking up, DYDX should start moving. So I think it's just about patience. But again, that's what stop losses are for, and we can exit at any point. So okay, Quantum says ORDI to new all-time high. Let's see what else we got here. Rune and PYTH. So yes, I've got a potential setup for you brewing on Rune. Okay, so this is what we're going to do. Rune, slowly, just working its way down this trend. As you can see, last time we worked down the trend. Eventually, they broke. Here we are, working down this trend. So let Rune just continue down. We'll let it ride. If it's going to carry on down, let it come down. But ideally, what we want to see is a push here and a break of this trend, and then we're going to be cooking. So Rune, I've got my eyes on. It's on my watch list. I'm looking at it every day. I think it's just a matter of time before Rune wakes up again. So right now, areas of support you can watch, 5.74. You can see why this is interesting support. It's under multiple 4-hour candles. Okay, so 5.744, that is a potential support region. And then your lows, 5.29, that is your next support region for Rune. But I would say keep this on your watch list. We know what Rune can do. Here is Rune, just a reminder for those that don't know what Rune is. That is what Rune's been doing for the last couple of weeks. So perfectly acceptable if it wants to just chill and just consolidate a little bit and just reload. Remember what Injective did? Injective sat around for weeks, maybe a month or two actually, and then started ripping again. So give it some time, but track this trend. Keep it on your watch list. I think there is still some more power left here, left in Rune. Okay, AVAX, we have covered for you, right? I'm all yours. Give me your tokens. I've given you all of mine. Let's see. Okay, Matic and GALA. Let's start with that. And guys, also Bruce is here. So actually, let's get Bruce up here.
Hola, what's up?
I'm still bullish. I'm still bullish after that flush out.
Me too.
Bruce.
I mean, literally, all it did was bring. There was a couple trades you got wicked out on, but all it did is basically bring price right back to the entrance, either 786 or the original entrance.
Yeah.
So you go, okay, take your loss and go back in again.
So tell us about this trade you just took. Was it IMX?
I'm scalping 𝗬𝗓𝗍𝗍. Got 2 entries. Want to put my chart up? Or?
Yeah, let's go. And I want to talk to info at. Yeah. Guys, I mean, this is my first thumbnail where I did an open mouth, and I promised myself I would never do an open mouth, and they chose the picture of me with my mouth open. I'm sorry. Guys, I'm sorry.
You should be. You really should be.
It was so bad.
I'm only working with you because you don't do that stuff.
Exactly, guys. I'm not gonna give you the open mouth again. I apologize. Yeah. So info at, you said I must quit the stupid sub thumbnails. Who keeps taking it off? There he is. Okay. He says quit.
Is actually kind of cool. I was about to give it a shot at the 382, but it's losing the 382, so I didn't bother getting in. So right now, it's been pumped for quite a bit, consolidated for quite a while over here, and now it is just slowly leaking down and right back down. See the wick right there? Here was the wick that nailed us on everything else. So just like Dylan talked about half an hour ago, is off times price will come back down and fill it. And that's exactly what it's doing. So I'm just going to be patient, wait that thing to come down to 6, which is 2.11 right about there, and pop off along. I'm going to enter it as a scalp, so I'll be on the 15-minute. The stop will go just outside of that level, so about 1.5%, maybe 2 if you want to be more cautious. And then if this thing, here's the way I'm going to play it, is if this basically breaks up above this support 3.2 level, that's when I'll add on significantly to the trade and then run it up. So this one's
I like this IMX. Yeah,
and
very easy, simple setup. Nice.
Yeah. And if you go back to all the others, like I was in Avalanche and Python, and they've just come back right down to 1-0 again. I was in Python from here yesterday. Popped up, great. I left it overnight and I said, okay, it's going to retrace. And you can see that right when I went to bed over here, it was starting to show resistance right at the trend line, kind of as expected at that horizontal level, pretty expected. I went to bed going, that's cool. And then hello, at 5 a.m. my time, that happened. But all that meant is we start again. I mean, look at this. I
haven't looked at that PYTH chart, but that looks like a monster flush out. Is that a big candle there?
Yeah, that was look at that. All the way down to there. Oh, it went. Look at this. Yeah. We had the wick from the other day. Look at these things. Identical. Look at that. Exactly the same spot.
They didn't give us much upside as well.
So what I'm doing is I'm actually going to wait on this entrance. I mean, it looks good right now, but it seems that stuff's getting filled in. I can look at these candles right now. So I'm going to be patient, because if I can catch this puppy right over here, somewhere in that region, that'll be a hell of a lot safer than here when you're going to not get another one of those things. So, but I'm going to keep an eye on it, because when price moves, it moves like this. This upside on this one is 27% just to the top of range. So if you catch it, it'll be awesome. So the trick is catching it.
Okay, nice. Well, definitely one to watch. I mean, I think it's tradable, but the wicks on PYTH. I mean, Rect in Korea is actually saying this. Damn, these wicks. I mean, it's not even worth it when it's wicking like that. It's like it's ridiculous. It's almost better to stay away.
Let's stop that and play 3 straight times, and then I caught a winner, and it left the stop losses in the dust. Didn't matter.
Yeah, look, eventually, guys, you know the drill. If you guys are trading and you want to be traders, like, you got to expect that you're going to lose a couple of times. But once you hit your winner, then nothing else matters. I mean, then you're cooking. So just be patient, and they do come, and just understand these wicks are brutal.
Yep.
Okay, I want to pull up GALA chart. I've got request for GALA and Matic. Okay, so this is the last time I was looking at GALA. This is where we were. So let's just get our heads around this thing. Okay, so a little 618 retracement here for GALA. Okay, let's pull that up. Okay, so again, another flush out, guys, and this is, again, such an important lesson. When you get a flush out, make sure you know your big areas. So if you happen to be watching this flush out when it's happening, don't panic out of your trades. Identify your areas and say, okay, these are my zones. This is where I could or should get a bounce, and just let it play out, because there's probably a lot of people that started exiting all the way down and then they got the bounce. At least now you've got the bounce. You can choose to exit again, like when you are rational and relaxed, or you can hold now and hope that it's going to push higher. So this is where we are with GALA. So nice little 618 bounce, but again, we are still in a downtrend. So you need to understand that GALA might be wanting to push lower until we start breaking this horizontal. So let me just get this trend right here for you guys. Okay, so it's quite simple, really. If it's going to push up now, I need it to break this horizontal. Okay, you can see this nice horizontal here, and we know this is going to be excellent support for us. So if we blow this horizontal, we're looking at 0.032 as our support, and then GALA is on the way. But right now, it's actually at resistance. It's now wicked down at resistance, so a little bit careful up here. If you're trying to long GALA right here, you need to contend with a risk that they might want to come down and test this candle. So, for example, if you're jumping in here, you need to understand that your risk is at least 4.47% if they come and test this lower wick here, which they often like to do in crypto. So just understand that. What I would suggest, be more patient, let it break up, let it get some support, and then you can have another crack at it. And again, you don't have to wait for 8-hour support or 12-hour support. You can start dialing in, and you'll see if those 15 minutes are giving you structure and that type of support there, then you can start looking at your position. You don't have to wait like till the next day, for example.
And couldn't that thing also just come all the way back down and grind down to the 618 trend line?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
Which would make it a lot safer entrance, wouldn't it? If that happens.
Yeah, I mean, this would be, look, it's going to be dark though. If these alts are coming down there, it's going to be messy again. So, your options are, I mean, for me, it's a revisit of this wick at the 618, so 0.03, or it's break up, get some support at 0.032, and then, Bruce's option, which was the original trade that we were looking at here, was a buy in these regions down here, just under 0.03.
Yep.
Okay, let's pull up a Phantom update. We've seen a little bit of strength in Phantom. Okay, so Phantom's been decent. Layer 1 vibes come, it's following ADA, it's following all of these things. Again, no particular reason that I can find for Phantom to be pumping anyway. Guys, let me know in the chats if there is something that you guys are picking up. But I think Phantom's just following the narrative here currently,
Right.
and still on track. 618, still on track for 47. This is my 500% trade, guys. I'm still sitting in this Phantom trade. So I wanted 500% on a 10x, and we're nearly there. So right now we are 380%. Okay, so hoping we're going to make it. that'll be the second 500% trade we got right. So I'm holding this one. Let's hope it still continues.
Yeah.
Okay, let's see what else we got. Stacks, that's a good one. Okay, lots of stacks. A deal really wants me to look at stacks, and let's look at MYRIA Games. Why not? Look at that one. We don't give that one enough attention. Okay, so this is stacks. Oh, and we got to look at CAS. There's news on CAS, guys. We've got to deal with CAS. Okay, Simon's actually going to love that I'm talking about CAS.
Danger,
okay,
Will Robinson, danger.
Okay, so very simple for me on stacks. Support 0.96. Okay, you can see monster rejection here at this trend. I would say let's look for a support base here, 0.96. Let's see what happens if we get down here. Otherwise, you're going to play it's a very sharp trend, but you're gonna have to look for something like that. You might have to dial in. Let's see, 4 hour. Okay, so very clear for me. Okay, this is what you want to hold. This horizontal here, 0.97. Okay, that is a nice area. If we get that bounce, that would be ideal. Okay, so 0.97 for stacks on the 4 hour is your first main level of support, and your next region that you're going to look at, 0.88. Okay, so these are your two main areas. So 0.97, 0.88. MYRIA, let's go. Cooking, wow. Yeah, I mean, this is hard to chart now because this is now price discovery, and they launched in the middle of a bear market. And look at this, they've survived. They launched in the middle of this bear market. It went to the depths of hell here, 0012, and here we are now. It's probably 10x or 15x from there, but tricky now. Let's see what we can get. Okay, so identify your horizontals. Okay, so always make sure you understand where your big support regions are. So when you get pullbacks, you really know where you're going to get your potential bounces. I don't really like the look of this wick for fib, but let's see what it gives us. Okay, 618. Okay, so that's not bad. Okay, 618 support. Okay, so MYRIA nodes, MYRIA games, not MYRIA nodes. You can buy the nodes and print MYRIA tokens. The MYRIA, what do they call this? MYRIA games. 0.0139. That is your support that you need to take into consideration. But again, this is price discovery stuff. If you're a spot buyer and things like that, you can play this guy. You can look for the support. It's quite an easy exit as well, because if we lose this level here, it looks like a quick little move down, and this is your next banger. So we lose that quick little move down, I would say, and then we've got a nice support base here, 00123. Okay, 00123 and 00138. So those are your zones. I mean, if you're a spot buyer and you're looking for like a longer term play and you're bullish on these things, these are DCA zones for you. These are areas you can look at. Just make sure they always tie in with solid horizontals, and then you're good. Okay, let's go theta. There's lots of requests for theta. Yeah, THETA delivered, hey, didn't it? Look at that.
Yeah.
We had so many of these alts, 618 and Trend. I can't even remember how many, but I must have seen 5 or 10 of these alts that I was going through the last few days. Trend and 618. We were feeling so bearish. They were dipping down into these trends and, again, just delivering for us. So let's see what's going on here. A little bit of a downtrend, but nice recovery bounce. Look at this nice candle, the 12 hour. Okay, let's just clean this up.
Yeah, that support level looks really good right there.
Yeah, this is great. Okay, so support 1.02. You can see this is a nice area. Okay, we've got 618 fibs here. We got horizontal, so we know this is a banger support region. It bounced off here yesterday, looking good. Next line of support for you. Okay, you're looking at the next set of horizontals. Okay, so this is like scalper stuff now. We're going in here for you guys. Dialing in here, 4 hours. Okay, next set of supports for you. 1.07. Okay, so that's your next area. And again, ideal situation, we're going to blow up here. Okay, that's the ideal plan. But scalpers, these are your first sort of lines here, 1.07, and then lower down, 1.0, call it 1.02.
Yep, that's exactly what.
And then, yeah, let's go bigger picture here just to show you guys where we are in the grand scheme of things. I mean, there's a long way to go for THETA. I mean, THETA was trading at about $8 during that last bull run. So again, like all of these tokens, long way to go still, and a lot of resistance to get through. So guys, just remember, you haven't missed anything. Okay.
Yeah.
These guys, there's so many of these. They're sitting at these weekly resistance bands, and there's so much time, because even if it pops through the weekly resistance band, so let's assume the market turns bullish here, everyone gets euphoric, and we pop through here. I have no doubt a lot of these alts, they're going to come back and they're going to give you the best entries of your life on this retest here, on this weekly, and then the party's going to start. So your next move is going to take you to 1.66. Okay, so right now, keep that resistance. Be patient. Okay, the scalpers, obviously, try and grab your entries, do your thing. If it carries on, it carries on. But the spot buyers and stuff, if you're looking at this, THETA's at a weekly resistance band. Okay, so we know that it's a resistance area. What is a big resistance teller? Well, we're either going to blow through and find support there, or we're going to reject. And then we're looking for areas lower down. So there is no urgency, there is no rush, guys. If you look at it, bigger picture, you zoom out, you can see really where we are, and there's lots of time here. So let it pop through. We can find that support. Don't feel you missing out. I don't want you guys to feel that you like FOMO and you have to jump into things. You know, there's also a next project and the next project and the next project, and we look through hundreds of coins a week. So we will find you guys some things.
Exactly.
The jungle says Sol fire up. Okay, let's look at Sol. And then there was a request for XRD. Apparently Run was talking about XRD. Somebody said in the chat. I'm not sure what XRD is. Radix, have you ever heard of the group?
No, I haven't, but I'm looking right now.
Yeah, look, 50-day MA, it's interesting. This is the Radix 12-hour chart. Okay, your main support areas, 0.045, and this low. I mean, yeah, I know nothing about this. Just somebody in the comments said Run was talking about this, so there it is. Yes, and Abdullah says, yeah, long-term thoughts, guys. Remember, just zoom out. Don't feel like you're missing anything. Just, you know, keep it relaxed. There is time. There is time to get your strategies right and to play this thing. Let's see how this MUBI's doing. I see somebody in the chat is talking about MUBI. Okay, here, we're on our 618. So this is our first area that we wanted to hold. Okay, so we don't want to lose the 618. Okay, but you can see nice little reaction here on the 618 so far. Okay, so we don't want to close under that region. And we close under that region, then for me, we're coming down. We're coming to 0.14. Okay, that's our next level. 0.14 and then 0.125. Okay, let's see what else we got here. Okay, guys, I've never really looked at this Woo. Let's look at Woo.
Woo.
Bruce, do you want to pull up 𝗘𝗏𝗃 for me quickly?
𝗘, sure.
Oh, I must have looked at this Woo. I mean, yes, we did a trade. We did a Sniper Club trade for Woo ages ago. Okay, there it is. Jeez. Okay, so here was the trade back then. It did work. Now it is cooking. Yeah, jeez, guys. Okay. Yeah, this thing's run away. I mean, you can't realistically try and jump into this thing now until you get some kind of consolidation. So look what they give you when these things are moving. They do give you these moments where you do get consolidation. Okay, so this is what we need to look for. You're trying to snipe entries here. But again, you try and snipe these entries, things get very risky. Okay, so just you need to be careful here. Okay, 382, that's nice. Like that. 618, love this. Okay, these are great areas here. Okay, so this first region, 339, 0.307. Love these areas. Okay, I think these are solid. I wouldn't jump in here. It's dangerous stuff. It's too risky. You know, I've seen this story so many times. This is where you want to be. You want to see something like this. Okay, this type of story. You want this consolidation. Let's see if it comes down. Then you grab your solid entries, and then we can always play that trend game after that. So rather just be patient. Wait for the solid areas. Those are your best areas. Ladder into a position. Then we break trends. The story changes, and then we can go. Apparently ORDI is ripping. Let's see. Oh, there we go. Okay, cool. Okay, so ORDI is now pushing all-time highs. So this is the rejection area. So just be careful. And what we want to see, again, we just want to see it pop. And then we want to see some support here. You can see here's that previous all-time high. We want to see this area sort of become support for us, and then give us some juice there to move higher. Okay, Bruce, do you have 𝗘 there?
I have 𝗘 here, yeah. I took a look at it on the daily first. Haven't charted 𝗘 in a long time, but it dropped down, finding support down in the 0.16 area. It's pushed up to this resistance area, and it's just under it right now. You can see it's clearly, you know, there, clearly resistance. Let's zoom in a little bit, and it's basically pushing up against that area right there. I pulled a fib on it. This is the hold on, let me zoom out so you can see it better. That's a 382 right now that it bounced off of. The thing I'm noticing is that the 50-day moving average right there is absolutely showing support. So right there. So what I would say right now is it's trying to break through this resistance. Here's a high. If it makes a higher high and then comes back and retests it, we'll probably have that 50-day moving average moving up with it. The intersection of horizontal support, trend line might be a good place to start getting involved in 𝗘 again, because it's broken out of this long kind of down play that had it there.
Look, maybe we just like remember the old bull run too much from 2021, but fuck me, this 𝗘 used to pump. Like, yeah, it's just, yeah, I can't let it go. I keep thinking about 𝗘. I don't know.
I need maybe 𝗘 before, yeah.
Binaway says 𝗘 rocket coming. Yeah, I think there's something there. Okay. Bruce, thanks for that.
You're very welcome.
What's happening at Sniper Club? Any sessions today?
Today's Thursday, so no sessions. I've really been active. We did a huge thing on Tuesday. We're talking about trading psychology and keeping your head straight, because 95% of success and failure happens right between the ears. So OG Craig and I did that, and that was wonderful. You and Sheldon did an amazing thing, and you and DJ and Dave did an amazing session. Tomorrow, the whole crew is together.
Yeah,
so all of us going to gang up together to do a big session.
Okay, nice, Bruce. Thank you.
Yep.
Guys, I'm going to look at one more chart after this. Just to remember, Sniper Club, that legend you just saw, Bruce, absolute legend. He gives up banger setups all day long. He's an old, experienced trader. He's used to do Forex, all these things. He's part of the Sniper team. He's in the Sniper Club, and he's helping out with psychology as well. He's been around the block. We do all these sessions in the Sniper Club. So there is a link in the description. You can join the Sniper Club. We are in there. We are answering your questions. I'm dropping charts. We are doing live trading sessions. Yesterday, Sheldon and I sat on a live session. We gave about 4 trades live on that session there. And so Wednesday, Sheldon and I are live. Friday, Sheldon and I are live. Sundays, David, DJ and Dave and I are live on Sundays, and then Bruce and Craig and all of us, we're all involved. Simon's obviously in there. So things are pretty wild. I just want to give you one more setup. We were asked for Litecoin. So I just want to add Litecoin here to the mix. There might be a bet coming at Banter. And it involves Sheldon getting the most ridiculous haircut, and it potentially involves me dyeing my beard pink for a week. I've agreed to a week. They wanted it for a month. But it's basically old coins versus new coins. And Sheldon and I, maybe we're just a little bit old school because we've been trading these things for so long, but we think that some of these old coins are going to come and surprise us. And RUNE doesn't seem to think so. He thinks we're wasting our time, and he thinks all the new guys are going to outperform. So that is the current bet that we are talking about at the Banter team. So we're going to see how that works. But Sheldon and I are secretly confident that we are going to get something out of these. So here is Litecoin, just again, a slow mover, and yeah, like watching paint dry, basically. But if you are interested in Litecoin, okay, it's again a very, very easy exit here. Not the most exciting trade at the moment, but when it gets legs, it can work. But simple exit here. Your exit is at 2.4%. Okay, that's your risk right now. Litecoin is holding horizontal and 50-day MA. Okay, so it is interesting. If you are entering here, you have a 2% risk. And pretty simple, your exit is loss of horizontal and loss of trend. Okay, so if you start losing this region over here, then things are generally looking bearish. So if we're falling over here, we start looking lower down. But if that's a sign for the whole market actually looking a bit silly. So yeah, don't forget about that. We lose a trend, it's over. We look for lower down. Otherwise, we ride these trends up, and we can ride them until they break. Okay, I need to find my special exit, my exit flames. No, it's not flames today. It's exit window. Okay, guys, tomorrow I might actually have a special guest to be confirmed. I need to just make sure, but I should get a guest tomorrow. Could be quite a lot of fun on Banter Plus tomorrow. You might actually know the guest, so it could be a good one. We'll see you guys tomorrow.